Happy holidays, motherfuckers. You're listening to the Las Películas Sábados Gigantes at the Cinemarijuana Theatre, episode 35. Episode 35. Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas all over your fucking face.
Happy holidays.
Right here at the Cinemarijuana Theatre.
Eat a dick. I mean, no. Don't eat a dick.
We are
Happy Kwanzaa.
Kooky Kwanzaa.
We are a cinema appreciation
Crazy
society that meets and greets to discuss and watch cinema.
And we're elite.
And
Don't forget the part where we're elite.
Yeah, right. We got actually we're on a bit of a shortened schedule today because we are in the middle of our Star Wars marathon here at the Cinemarijuana Theatre as episode 7, The Force Awakens, opens this coming Thursday, December 17th.
Yeah, like 5 days away.
Yeah, and we're all seeing it.
It's
We
insane.
thought, what better way to celebrate than to get together as a group and watch at
Run
least
the
the
gamut.
original trilogy together, if not all the movies.
Well, and a couple of us have watched all 6, or will have watched all 6 by the time we finish. We're halfway through. Well, we're basically halfway through. We're at the halfway breaking point.
And I just got here for the only ones that I recognize.
Yeah,
That you officially
wisely.
acknowledge.
I think you perhaps wisely gauged your time properly to arrive, just as ROTC was concluding.
just as the 25-minute long lightsaber battle was concluding.
Yes.
Well, we'll be talking about Star Wars next week.
Oh, plenty of it.
Both our marathon and probably a little bit about
No, we'll definitely be talking about
episode 7.
Come on.
So this week, this week we're talking about.
This week we are talking about Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which we watched last week, which has sort of been on. I hadn't seen it before. Was certainly been on my periphery.
Yeah, Netflix have been begging me to watch.
Yeah, well, it's kind of.
That's really the first place I saw it was. I didn't even know about its existence until it popped up on Netflix.
Okay,
Same here. Same here.
No, well, see,
But
I
it looked like my kind of movie.
The Ken had screened it a while back.
But we didn't catch it.
No,
right?
we didn't, and it was a huge debacle. A person whose name will not be mentioned actually.
Oh, that was the one.
Knew of it, and insisted that we go. And we were like, okay, fine, because we love going to the Ken to support them midnight, so we go all the time. And then when it came time to get ready to go, this person was like, oh, no, I don't think we're going to go.
Yeah, flaked
and
out.
they were like, oh, what? So we ended up going.
I don't remember
And then
that.
later on in the evening, he hits up and he's like, where are you guys? Where you at? And it's like,
Yeah.
you motherfucker, we're not going. He's like, oh, well, we're all here. Where are you? And it was like, dude.
all took a big group.
Oh, my God.
Like took up a row. It's all down. Like, oh, what happened? Where are you guys at?
It was
Tweeting about it and shit.
really frustrating. So, anyway, so I hadn't seen it. But
we should introduce ourselves.
Hey, that's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
All right. Clockwise, starting with me. I'm Ed.
All right, I'm Honest John.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jason.
I'm Matt.
Yes, and we got a little smaller group today, but that's okay. Intimate is always better.
It's the holidays. People always got stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's parties. There's
Yes.
drinking to be done.
Yes, indeed.
There's
Indeed.
white
So,
elephants to ride.
Ride that elephant.
and we don't have Kenzie to give us a synopsis here because
Somebody's gotta step in.
she's R.I.P.
We don't have Zeb either.
She's R.N.I.P.
Who wants to give a quick synopsis?
I guess that would be me.
Okay, you take it away.
All right. So there's these two hill persons, if you will.
Hill Williams.
Hill Williams.
Hill Williams,
I
they
believe
prefer.
it's the
Hill
prefer-
Williams.
That's the
the
preferred term.
preferred nomenclature.
Yes.
Yeah, I
on
think this
that
is
one.
in Virginia or West Virginia. They get a vacation home. They just want to have a nice, quiet time. And then there's also some college co-eds out trying to have an equally joyous weekend.
Yes.
And shenanigans start happening, and they
Yes.
start dying. But the hillbillies get all the blame.
And there's misunderstandings at a Three's Company level. They're really just
Really,
one
it's
thing
like
after another.
a horror commedia dell'arte.
Yeah, if you think about the two guys and the girl, it's a reversal of Three's Company.
Jesus, I have not heard that
And-
since like high school.
And then you got instead of Mr. Furley thinking they're boning when they're not, you got college kids thinking they're killing when they're not.
There's some Furley-esque logic.
Yeah.
Going
Furley-esque there.
Unfortunately, no Furley-esque wardrobe choices though.
No.
Oh, too
Which is
bad.
a huge
Rocking the
bummer.
ascot.
Those butterfly
Huge
collars.
opportunity.
are
And yeah,
nowhere to be
and
found.
the ascots and the ridiculous shirts, and also no Furley style mugging. But we digress.
Oh.
So before we get into this, Jason, who's in the bone zone in this movie?
Yeah.
As an equal opportunity defiler,
Definitely not any of the Hill Williamses.
They all lose. Sorry,
Hill
guys.
William I.
Well, I noticed
mean,
that one of the actors' names is Alan
William
Tudyk. Now,
That I know.
certainly
My eyebrows
a man
raised.
with a man with two dicks.
Like the
is-
Grinch's heart, who's like enlarged 3 sizes that day.
Yeah.
Like my eyebrows went up like 2 levels when I saw
Yeah.
that name.
Has anybody seen Wreck-It Ralph?
I saw
his
that.
underwear got
He was the
3
king.
times as
Like the
tight.
villain?
And yeah, he was the king
Oh,
in
shit.
Wreck-It
I
Ralph.
did-
Alan Tudyk.
He does
Oh,
a
wow.
surprising amount of voices where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's him.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
also
that was the
pirate.
ultimate thing for me.
He's the pirate obsessive in Dodgeball.
Yeah,
I haven't
that's
seen Dodgeball.
Oh, okay.
Does he take his two dicks out in that one?
guy.
No, it's still unconfirmed as to how many peni this guy has.
Really? Well, I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty bold claim if you're just writing the name.
Now,
If he's naming
does
it
two
and claiming
dicks-
it.
Does two dicks appeal to a guy the same way as it could to a woman, though? I mean,
or
isn't
2
it-
women.
well,
Are you
yeah.
saying like in a homosexual way, or like just a straight man being like, "Yeah, I got 2 dicks"?
No,
Well, they're
no. I think I may more a homosexual way. Yeah, that's
Oh,
more
okay.
interesting.
Well, having only like one hole or 2 holes.
Well, I don't really. I
Well,
don't
we
really.
are
there was
so-
that one dude on Reddit that has like
2
2
dicks.
perfectly
Right.
formed
Really?
dicks side by side.
We
Yeah.
are
How
so
did he get the
far
job in this
off
movie?
topic
Yeah, I
here.
don't know how this
Well,
happened,
this
but
is
it's
important,
fascinating.
though, really.
No,
Think
because that's
about
just his name.
Yeah.
it's not.
It is his name.
They didn't use his name in the movie.
It is
Alan Two Dicks Jackson. Some friends
Let's
call
get
me
this
Two
back on
Dicks.
track.
Yes. Okay.
Let's get
You know what's
pull-
funny?
rein
Alan
us in.
Tudyk got made fun of for that last name so much in elementary school.
Well,
you have to know he does.
If you think of it either way, it's either two dick or two dyke, and like you got 2 dicks or 2 dykes. I mean, either way, it's a little salacious.
the
Like Salacious Crumb. Bringing it back to Star Wars.
Ed Crumbs.
the main woman in Dale and Tucker was pretty hot, but
Oh, the one who hit her head and had to be rescued as
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, she was cute.
The trashy girl. I mean, like if I'm just don't really have anything better to do that night, I could go for. And I don't remember how hot or not the black girl was, but she wasn't really like sexed up like the other 2 were.
But none of the dudes, huh? Not even the Chip Whitley looking guy.
Which one is that one?
The lead college kid that sort of had the beef against Hill Williamses.
The one from the Mean Street Posse.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, Pete Gass.
I think it depends on how
Joe
furry he
Harris.
is underneath the shirt. I'm not a huge fan of bears. And then the guy who played
I
Dale,
like
he's
black
just
bears. Very sweet.
he's just like too big for my britches.
How furry.
Tyler Labine.
Yes, Tyler. Yes, I have that written down here. Tyler, which actually sounds Canadian to me, and this is a Canadian American film, I guess. Okay, so let's see. So none of the dudes, but most of the chicks.
No, well, I mean, one chick circumstantially. The other 2, they're pretty. Yeah, I could go.
All right. So now, this movie was selected by Hannah, and her first selection.
Yeah, 3rd
Ever.
attendance, I think.
Yes. I don't.
Doesn't have the luck of the snig.
She's not.
Doesn't,
yeah,
have,
I
my,
know, right?
doesn't have my level
She
of
is not
luck.
here, but I do have texts.
Okay, excellent.
Sweet.
Do you have any? Because as we get into this, I think that we should start with that. If you have any info as towards why she selected this
Well,
film.
why she picked it? Well, she is from Virginia. and
Do
so
her voice
she-
when you read the text.
She's
Okay.
she's half Hill Williams.
Excellent. Okay, so it kind of hits
Yeah,
home.
I think it's like down
Excellent.
on her
What
her
sort
mom's
of
side,
Hill
like one-
Williams? Like what region?
Appalachia. I don't know, somewhere up in there.
Oh,
up in the
okay.
hills.
Yeah, the true hilliest of the Hill Williamses.
Yeah, the ones that actually lived in the hills. So
yeah, okay.
So that was So that she felt her people were being underrepresented. I feel.
Well, that's that. I mean, excellent.
As far as reviews of the movie, I didn't get any of those, but I do have 3 words from her.
Okay. Well, let's start. Let's start with that, and then we can just start with you, and then go around.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if I'm filling in for her, then immediately to my left would be you.
No, but
Okay.
You
Let's just go.
go.
Let's
You
just
go
go.
for her, then you go for you.
Okay.
That's
There
what
we
I mean.
go.
You go for her, then you go for you. Then
All right.
Just
all
go
right.
with it.
Let me see. What were her 3 words? It is PBR heals all.
Excellent. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it really? $7.99 a 12-pack. Fucking A right.
Yeah, you
Gets
got
the job
something.
done.
You got something wrong with your bromance?
They'll make it right.
And you can find it on tap too, dirt
TBI.
cheap usually
Yeah.
too. Usually, a lot of bars have specials.
Ain't better than Budweiser.
Oh,
Better than
I'll
Coors
say,
Light.
for a beer that's considered a shit beer, it's surprisingly drinkable. And I don't say this as someone who's a beer snob or a hipster either. I drink it all.
Yeah.
Is it drinkable or drinkable though?
No, it's definitely drinkable.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
drinkable. But
Okay, so then let's go to you, Dr. Matlis. Tell us what you thought about this film.
I enjoyed this one. This is sort of a Evil Dead 2 kind of level horror comedy.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
And I was loving every bit of this movie. I love the characters. Even the college kids, they
yeah.
they each kind of have their own kind of stereotype role that they're playing, but some of them you're just waiting for them to die.
Well, yeah.
All of them.
It very
all of
much it very much starts out like playing on the kind of that traditional trope of a group of like
That's totally-
unbelievably hot people
Yeah.
going out into some questionable situation somewhere. Like it's like Hatchet starts out like that, doesn't it? Or what was
yeah.
the other one we saw with the Sid Haig that nobody else saw with the stupid thing?
that's
I mean,
that's a
Deliverance,
common
going
trope
way back.
now.
But then it totally subverts that
Oh yeah.
right away.
Yeah, and it's great the way it does it. It I mean, the hillbillies are just they're the heroes. They're totally innocent and everything, and it's just playing off of that. I just I don't know what's more to say about this. It was just like a really fun time.
Yes. Yes, certainly no major life wisdom necessarily being
Not really.
no. This is
Not really,
no.
but I do love the way it starts when they're like in the convenience store, and
Yes.
just the weird looks that they're getting
Yes.
from the guy behind the desk,
Yes.
behind the counter. It just goes from there, and I love the interaction between the two guys, because I mean you could tell that they're really good friends, and
Yeah, they have good chemistry. They're fun together.
yeah, and
For
there's this
sure.
whole kind of side plot with Tucker trying to get Dale laid.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least trying to build his confidence and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is
yeah.
in the classic definition of buddy pick.
Yes, wingman.
Wingman, yeah.
All right. So you want to
Wing
give
Billy.
us your 3 words?
Shit. I always forget to come up with these until like 5 minutes before.
I know. Me too.
Misunderstood hill person.
Okay. Excellent.
Hill people?
We've been
Hill Williams.
Williams.
We've been joined by none other than Condi. You want to grab one of the mic stands there, and I can set you up while we're going around the room.
continuing.
Well,
Oh, just put
who's
that.
gone already?
Only Dr. Matlis is gone.
Yeah, you're.
So we
right
got
on
time
pretty
to make
much.
this a reality.
Yeah. They're sort of behind the couch there.
Oh, okay.
And then okay, all right. Actually, and then so I guess let's have fun with it today, shall we? For God's sake, why don't you go first, John? While I'm getting his mic plugged in.
All right,
Have
yeah.
fun with it.
Go ahead and tell us about this movie.
Yeah. This was the second or third time I'd seen this movie.
Oh, cool.
I remember seeing it up on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, because oh man, there's so many bad horror movies that come out post 2000, especially 2010. There's so many cheap, crappy ones,
Especially on Netflix.
On Netflix, on
Their
Sci-Fi Channel,
selection is
in
really poor.
Redbox. Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to think of it, so I didn't watch it. And I think the first time I watched it was at the behest of my girlfriend. I'm pretty sure. But it's I love this movie. It's a lot of fun. It's cool. I mean, obviously, it like we're just saying, it plays on that trope. If you're a horror fan that you've seen so often, where like they're obviously hanging a lampshade on the whole horror movie thing, where like these college kids going to the woods, crazy hillbillies. It doesn't help that with the first time Dale approaches them, he brings a scythe with him for some reason. That might not have been the best way to go.
Didn't really understand that part.
We've all got our
Yeah.
problems with women, but it's you gotta
And
put a
starts
little
laughing
thought
maniacally.
into it. A little tact sometimes. But
Just laugh. It shows your confidence.
Is it possible we have another autistic protagonist here?
maybe There could be a lot going on there. You
Just
see him like,
just
well, because
call
the whole
back to
trivia
last
thing,
week.
remember, too? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the whole trivia thing, that could be like an autistic thing.
Well, isn't the
Because he could
protagonist
be a
not supposed to
savant.
learn anything from his
Well,
experience?
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
he
that's
does.
it's called a character arc.
And
yeah.
he gets the Goyle in the end, which everybody
Indeed he
likes.
does. Indeed.
Spoiler alert.
Indeed, he does.
Yeah, no, it's fun. If you like horror, if you like comedy, it's definitely worth checking out. Everybody does a good job with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good pick. Good buddy pick.
One thing I forgot to bring up when it was my turn, but the amount of blood. Always dig it.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's when, okay, like when
the
I
first
watched it.
the first real gruesome kill when the guy like falls on his own spear.
Yeah, and it really
Oh,
it really
yeah.
guts him.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
and that's like I was saying, like when I was skeptical, but then when I watched it, I was blown away by how good it was because there is the gore. It does bring the gore, but it is funny too, and it's not stupid. The special effects are good. I don't know who did it, as far as we didn't talk about
Stand by.
writer, director, and stuff like that. I'm sure they'll be coming right up. But yeah. So my 3 words. I was gonna do trying to think of something with don't judge a book by its cover. So don't judge book, which would be how a caveman would say don't judge a book by its
Or
cover.
someone super autistic.
Don't judge book.
Don't just
Don't judge book.
Directed by Eli Craig, written by Eli Craig and Morgan Jurgensen.
Jurgensen.
Taylor Labine, Alan Two Dicks.
That's Tyduck.
Cat.
Sure it
Mess with
is.
you.
Yeah, that really fucked me up for a second. Gears are slow to turn tonight. Katrina Bowden and Jesse Moss, the 4 that
Oh,
starred.
there you go.
Okay,
Oh, timer, yeah.
there it goes.
No,
There it
John.
goes.
John.
All right. So I guess
Very informative.
we'll go back and do me and then Takandi.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can do you.
Because we're
anytime.
having fun with it, for God's sake.
For God's sake.
Yes. Okay. This film was, like I said, it was sort of on my radar because we sort of missed it in that debacle of a non-screening we had several years back, and it's always sort of kind of been there to watch, but I never did. So it was kind of interesting when it came on, and I was like, oh shit, okay, like, well, hey, I suppose it's about time I watched this anyways. That lava lamp's about to explode too, which is going to
So
be really
awesome.
cool when it does it.
I stared at it like the whole night.
Yeah, so I mean, like we said, other than basic
watch.
schoolboy wisdom, there's no, this is no Earth from 1930. This is no L'Age d'Or. In terms of subtextual exploration and sort of taking film to another level.
Thank God.
But certainly, at least the chemistry between Alan's Two Dicks and Tyler Labine was wonderful. They were super. They were super fun.
Yeah, you believe the
Tyler
friendship
Labine.
for sure. You believe the buddiness. Between them, the bromance.
yeah, totally,
The bromance can be felt.
definitely.
Yeah.
in your neither regions.
And I like that it kind of plays on like I like films that draw you in and make you put yourself in that situation. There's one of my favorite horror movies of recent times from 2009, I think, is Frozen by Adam Green. And it's a really simple, not the Disney Frozen. Fuck that piece of shit.
Whatever, you know all the lyrics.
The real Frozen. It's about these kids. Basically, it's a horror film about kids that get stuck on a ski lift. And it doesn't sound like much
yeah.
the premise, but it's so like the 4 of us watched together, and it was so engrossing. We were like all on the edge of our seat.
Yeah.
And instantly you're like, holy shit, because you're like,
It
what
feels so
would
real.
I do? And not that I believe anyone would realistically find themselves in a situation where college kids are chasing them and
Throwing themselves into wood chippers.
yeah, butchering themselves. But certainly this idea of being like caught in a situation where it looks like you did something and you didn't fucking do it. That's a scary thing. It's a scary
There's a
place to
Monty
be.
Python sketch with Eric.
One of
Idle
my
like
one of my
that.
favorite sketches.
Yeah, where
Sorry.
he's waiting in some office for somebody, and like things keep falling off the wall and just breaking. He's just standing there, and then like
and everybody thinks he did, and then
Right.
he like start dying.
yeah,
and
like
they
the
keep
maid,
thinking he
he's
did
holding a knife, and the maid trips and falls on it, and then somebody else comes in and thinks that like he stabbed her, and then
it.
some
They fall out the fucking window.
yeah, or the ceiling caves in on somebody, and he's like sorry. And like I won't wait, I'll phone, and he's all taken off.
Or it was like a sweeter version of that movie, Very Bad Things, almost, where everybody means well, but then the shit kind of hits the fan, and it's like, oh no, bad things. But
Very
so
bad thing.
yeah, it was pretty fun, and certainly of its era. Just to wrap up my shit, certainly of its time, which is the current time, which seems to be there's sort of a very like wink, half meta, thing about horror films these days.
Yeah, that's just the trend right now.
And of those types of horror films, I think this is among the better ones that I've seen.
Yeah, one of the better modern day horror movies.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think so. So, I think my 3 words for this movie, and I say this as a college kid, fuck college kids. All right, Condi, your turn.
Well, I wasn't here to watch it, but I had seen this movie previously.
Oh, yeah, you weren't here, huh?
Yeah,
but you've seen it.
But I've seen it, and I thought it was a great movie. It's nice. You can hardly get the horror comedy thing right. A lot of people tried. A lot of people have failed.
Oh, like Scary Movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
Well, the first one was pretty funny, but anything after that was just god awful.
The first one was kind of funny. Yeah.
I mean, it's really funny to watch these movies. It's like you see all the horror cliches in it, but they make it so blatant, and it's great. And these guys are they're really well-meaning guys.
Yeah, really.
And it's just all like, oh my god, they just can't get anything right.
You feel
Nothing.
terrible for him.
Yeah.
When he gets his finger chopped off.
Oh
it's
god, that was one of the worst
man,
things. It's like this poor dude.
Guy.
Yeah, it's just like the dumb dude just wants like the hot chick, like, come on, Lenny, let's go get you a rabbit.
Yeah.
And it helps. The chick was hot, and the guy was like extra dumb, And Alan, and as you pronounce his name, Tudyk, actually. It's really good to see him in other things rather than being like shoehorned into Hope and Washburn on the whole Serenity Firefly thing.
Oh my god!
Oh, he is in that, isn't he?
Yeah, he would.
Just blew my mind.
And I mean, he was great in like 3:10 to Yuma. He does like a lot of voiceover work. I'm really interested to see how he is in Trumbo. And his Tucker. Well, he's Tucker. The other guy's Dale. I haven't seen too much of his other stuff, but he did great in this. So.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing Trumpo. It's the Trump documentary. It's about the biopic about his life.
You kid, but
it's coming.
Don't
It's
you mess
coming.
with our future president, Donald J. Trump.
Hopefully that means his last name.
Viva Trumpo!
I almost
6
did a
votes
spit
for
take.
President Trump.
And is that like an Obama Jesus candle in the middle
Yes.
here? I just
Obama's Jesus in this house, buddy.
Okay. I bet he is. I bet
He totally is.
There it go.
And it went out as soon as it said that. Oh, boy.
Curses.
So
I'm going to hell.
I think
I renounce my atheism.
It's all true. It's the real deal.
where's Ozan when you need him?
Yeah, I know. I told you that, motherfucker.
He could be throwing holy water on you right now. It's a great movie. I enjoy watching it. I recommend it to anybody who likes horror movies. It's not your typical one, but that makes it even better. It goes along those ways. Like when this one was made, what was it? Troll Hunter was around the same time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
a little bit later.
This is 2010.
Yeah, this was like during a time I would call it a semi-golden age of good horror movies.
God, I love Troll Hunter.
Oh, this is amazing movie.
I know that's come up before on any of these podcasts, but Troll Hunter is so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was one of the early films we watched together.
And so I
Three
didn't have
words?
time to think of 3 words, but
I don't think anybody did.
3 words.
dope gets girl.
Yeah. That's what I like. All right, Chris, take it away.
Okay, yeah, I did not write anything for this at all. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Sweet, okay. Yeah, they pulled it off, man. This is a great Netflix and chill flick.
Good call.
That's very true.
Yeah.
It's good for, women
Should've
can
been my
watch it,
3
guys
words.
can watch it. If you're looking for a movie like that, this is great.
Yeah, it's got something for the guys
little
and
gross,
for the
maybe.
girls, according to
Yeah.
traditional gender stereotypes.
Yeah, it's a good
Just to
horror
make that
comedy.
clear.
And it's funny because that seems like an easy genre. Like horror seems like kind of easy, and so does comedy. Seem like an easy type of film to make. You know what I mean? It's easier. It seems like a lot harder to do like maybe a drama or something like more serious than it does to do like a horror flick. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, a lot of people, their first films are like horror films.
right. I mean, it just seems like it lends itself easily to a lot of different levels of production.
Yeah.
But yeah, they pulled it off really well. I thought in this movie, it's funny, and it is kind of horrific. It's kind of gross at times, and it's kind of scary at times. More than anything, I think I found myself hating the characters' decisions, like the fact that they just like find this girl's body, you know, they see her fall and then they just row their boat away as fast as possible. How far did they have to row their fucking boat before the teenagers, like the college kids or whatever, couldn't even see them anymore? Like they go back out there and they're just gone. Like, oh well, we got her now. Row.
Yeah.
Just go. Just fucking row as fast and hard as you can, man. Just go. Get out of here.
They're saving a life,
Like,
man.
it kind of pissed me off. So that.
But horror movies, it's important that characters make bad decisions in horror films.
Exactly. Yeah, they have to make those bad decisions, otherwise they don't get into bad situations.
don't
Because
have a horror
otherwise,
movie.
yeah, otherwise it's just fucked up. You're like, well, okay, well they don't.
Oh, I'm
deserve
glad that
it.
worked out fine.
Yeah, we want them to deserve it to some degree, right? Yeah, the chemistry was amazing. I know everybody said that, but it really was great. I love the Two Dicks is the guy from Firefly or what?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I just
It
realized that right
actually
now.
says in his IMDb, you pronounce his name Two Dick, Too Dick.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it actually says in his IMDb, "I have 2 dicks."
He might, for all I
Well,
know.
we've been
It's genetic.
we've been discussing that on and off pretty much the entire time.
Okay, well, there's that. It's always out there.
Yep.
Just if he can call in and
Yeah, just call in
It's just hanging out there. If somebody wants to grab it.
or
We'll put
them.
we'll put
Yeah,
the number
grab
in.
them.
in the
Well,
link.
One's
No.
he's got to keep one warm while the other one's out trolling. Is that it?
Yeah, I
in
guess.
case one breaks.
Yeah, right.
This one breaks off. Okay. Well, yeah, that's
I wonder
pretty
if he
much
has
all I
any
had to say about
dairy
it. It was great.
fantasies.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
I was worried about it because it seems like a movie for everyone, and I think it's hard to make those movies really funny to me. Because
Yeah, they're always kind of like, well, I laughed a few times, but
Yeah, there are a few sappy moments in it, I think, but overall,
all right.
yeah, good movie.
Three
Well,
words.
give up the 3 words.
Oh, shit.
Tres palabras.
All bad luck? I don't know.
Well, that's
Well, I think he had it.
That's-
Netflix and
yeah.
chill.
Yeah,
yeah. Netflix and chill maybe is better.
Netflix and chill. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
There you
true.
go.
There we go.
I mean, he
That
stole
sounds
Jason's
about-
thunder with that one, I'm
that
sure.
sounds
Sorry, Jason.
No, I got
You gotta follow that,
okay.
man.
And who better to be in the rear?
Jason,
It's
a shame you guys
about
can't hear
Jason.
me raising my eyebrows over the over the.
No, but I did hear you get hard.
Yeah, I can hear you. Getting
So my 3 words for this film are gross hillbilly fun.
yeah, it is gross.
Keep in mind that hillbilly is 1 word, but when it's Hill Williams, it's more of a 2 word.
Hyphenated.
Yeah, I really was just kind of mediocre about this film when I first saw it, but I was alone, and then I saw it with everyone, and I'm like, wow, this is a lot more enjoyable than I remember. So I guess it's got that crowd effect for me going on.
I think there. I wonder if there's a name for that because I think
There
there's
has to
totally a
be.
real thing. I've seen movies that are pieces of shit and been like had just the best time because it was a fun time to see it. You
It's
know
the
what I mean?
energy, It's if people are laughing, if people are scared, if people
I
are
mean,
having a
it's-
good
it's
time.
probably-
it
It's like when you
helps.
go to a
It's-
movie on opening night and the theater's packed. Yeah, and it's like it hardly even matters what it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's like it's it's going to be. a
And
good
that's
time.
why sometimes movies don't live up to a second viewing because you'll see them opening night and be like, oh, like when we saw the J.J. Abrams Star Trek, it's like opening night. We saw it in a sneak preview, and like it was like, oh, like awesome, and then you see it later, it's like, oh, like not so awesome.
But yeah, anyways, what's been said, they nailed the horror comedy balance. My favorite horror comedy is still Cabin in the Woods, but that's because it has like slightly loftier goals than this one.
Yeah.
Well, that movie has a huge twist that you never see, especially in the preview too.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, more
correct.
of a genuine scare.
Tucker and Dale, it doesn't have as much hidden underneath the surface. But yeah, if you want to, find something good to watch on Netflix, this would definitely be on that list. If you want to have a good bloody time, this would be on that list. If you want to see like some classic horror nudity, this would not be on that list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was one kind of bummer, I guess.
Well, you needed Return of the Living Dead for that.
Yeah, Wild Nudity.
And if you miss that goofy guy from Reaper, this will be on that list. That Kevin Smith TV show about the son of the devil.
Oh wait, no, I know what you're talking
You
about.
gave me a funny look.
Well, because I was
That's just
hoping
his
you would
face, man.
mention, like shunting or something.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned it once yet.
It's-
No.
yeah, if you're a fan of shunting, definitely watch The Society. Or just like any sort of time Ed takes off his clothing to smother his body upon someone else. Like the
It's
massive
very-
flesh
it's
conglomeration
very
coming
Shunt-like.
together is very Shunt-like.
It's very Shunt-like. In fact, I recall watching Society the first time and being like, dude, how did they get this kind of access to my private life?
It's like
Without
looking
me
into a
se-
mirror.
Without me seeing the cameras, this is amazing. It's like finally a movie about me.
A movie
A
that
movie
speaks
that
to me.
speaks to me.
I saw this candid photo one time. He had his fist like coming out of some chick's mouth. It was crazy.
Nice.
They talk about the male gaze. I feel like that scene in the Society was like the Ed gaze. Like it was made for the Edwards gaze.
I love that we're still talking about society.
yeah.
Like weeks later. It just keeps
Edward.
coming up.
Yeah.
You can never forget it.
Well, yeah,
My
sure.
brain.
That
It
movie is
cannot be
only good
unseen.
for that scene. Like
Shunting.
if I could never see that movie again, or if I could forget it existed, my life would
He wants
be...
to see like the 3-hour extended shunt cut.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Shunt cut.
the mini-series cut.
Oh man, yeah. If HBO optioned that and had like a Shunt sex scene in every episode.
That'd be rad.
That's like
Shunt
Jason's
porno,
like dream
shunt
remake
parody.
of
God, I had to
Caligula.
change my pants. I'm so wet for it right
They'll
now.
do like a
Shuntsman.
whole season, like of the Shunt season, like where you see it. Like,
I got a
everybody's
case of the
ass back.
shunts.
I got it.
I'm gonna shunt my pants.
Nothing but the shunt, ma'am.
All right, I'm done.
All right. Well, let's shunt something else out now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as I said, we are on an abbreviated schedule because we've got to get back to the Star Wars soon. But I do have a couple of questions.
We should mention too. This is part of our series. We didn't mention at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Our buddy comedies. Or not
oh,
comedies,
yes.
but buddy movies.
That's
Bros Before
correct.
Hoes,
That's
Chicks Before
correct.
Dicks.
I should also mention there's a Facebook page for this.
Yeah, people should be checking out. And
Yeah.
YouTube.
There's not a whole bunch of stuff there, but we
And
pretty much
Screw
keep
too.
track of what we watch. You can see the posters of what we've seen, and
If we'd let you.
And follow us. If you're on SoundCloud and you're listening to this, follow us, please. It's a little button up in the top corner that says follow. Just click on it.
just click it.
Just click it.
Just
We know
have
you're not
fun with
listening,
it.
but
Click it.
For
It
God's
don't,
sake.
it don't hurt nobody. Just click that button.
Dude,
Click it.
Come on.
even if you're one
We
of
won't.
us
We won't
listening
sell your
right
info
now.
to nobody. We promise.
All right. So what do I have written down here?
I don't know. With all the mood lighting, can you read it?
Does anybody?
Our candle, Jesus candle went out.
It's more like my childish handwriting. No. Oh God. Okay.
Sad light.
Okay. So no, I just was curious. Has anybody ever had an experience like this?
Shunting or what?
Yes, shunting. No, not shunting. Having college kids murder themselves while chasing you.
Yeah, I did have a guy fall into a wood chipper one time, but that was
No,
something totally
no.
different.
What I mean is, has anybody had an experience not quite like this, but where you sort of were caught basically red-handed with something that you really didn't do?
One time I was caught like fucking on this trail, and these people came hiking up.
Please tell us the story.
But he didn't.
I'm pretty
really
sure.
do
I'm
it.
pretty sure I've
actually
heard-
fucking?
I'm pretty sure. No, he was. I'm pretty sure I've heard it, but it's rad.
This is now Love Line.
All right.
Lay it on us.
Yeah, one time hiked out. I'm not gonna say where, I guess.
Well, no, don't say where, but it's
Yeah.
a beautiful trail.
But
You and I have hiked it before.
no. This is a
Oh,
different trail.
Were you the other person in this story?
Very, very fuckable trail.
Unfortunately,
This is
no.
a different trail.
Okay.
This is a
Ooh,
different trail.
one I don't know, but equally as scenic, I would imagine.
Pretty
Was it her treasure trail?
pretty long trail. Actually.
It was actually the old dirt
Pretty
road.
long, pretty hard.
But like,
Yeah,
there's a
old
turn
dirt road.
off, I guess, like before you go up the main hill. You know, like
What, did
it
she
goes
fart?
Way up, and she farted, and I just couldn't take it anymore.
Well, you said there was a turnoff before you got to the main hill.
No. It's just we
At that point, there's no such
stopped
thing
at
as
this one part where there's these rocks piled up, so you can't really see from most directions. And we just started.
You just had to plug up that gas leak.
We just started fucking, I recorded some of it, which is hilarious.
Nice.
I was hoping
You
when I
look
looked
for that
back
on the
at it,
YouTube channel.
I was hoping when I looked back at it, you could see the people coming down. Anyway, but yeah, these people just started hiking down the hill, which is funny because they must have been able to see us for a while before we really saw them because they were
Nice.
up the hill, like
Yeah,
but
they
you
had
can only-
they had
it's
the
like
drop
hard
on
to
you
see 'em.
guys.
Yeah, they had the drop. They had like the Eagles boil, Eagles oil. But Eagles View. Anyway, yeah, and that was funny. So it was the funniest part was like we didn't see them until they were pretty close, and like kind of close, like. So I was like, oh shit. So we just pulled up our pants and like bolted, and like I never ran so hard like.
You all
With the
dissed
boner?
her?
So
Yeah.
what did you
You
get?
all totally did.
What did you get blamed for that you didn't actually do
Tripped
though?
her
Oh,
so that you could get
nothing.
away.
Yeah, I guess that actually.
Oh, then what the fuck would we have that story for?
Nothing to do with the
Well,
Well, it's
question
still
I
a good
asked.
story.
Thought I
It's a good
just
story, bro.
You almost got
Okay.
caught with something you did do.
Yeah, I almost got caught. I guess is what it is. Did get caught. I'm sure they saw my dick.
But there was
Well-
no misunderstanding.
Well, I guess this is shedding light on something
Well,
interesting.
Ed,
Please.
Kind of, sort of. I was dating a woman for about 4 or 5 months at this
Some
point,
slam piece.
and no, she graduated from slam piece status,
Oh, feels.
and then an ex fuck buddy of mine was coming into town, and I emailed her saying like, hey, we should meet up. And she read far more into that than I intended.
She instantly was
the fuck buddy.
She instantly was like buying the enema kit.
You're like, shit, I wish I had two
She
dicks.
thought that I was basically saying like, let's do the whole 9
not
shunting
cheating.
yards like we used to.
Right.
And she just gave me like this really long email about like how she can't be a sexual scratching post for me, and that she needs
Okay.
something more, and that yada yada. And I was like, oh wow, okay.
P.S.
And my
let's fuck.
girlfriend totally saw that email and
Oh,
thought that basically I've been
yeah.
proposing sex or
Right.
something behind her back, and she broke up with me over that.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
Man, what an Alan Two Dicks moment from
Yeah.
this movie.
Well, one time, like I felt kind of like how I guess Dale would have felt, because there was this old Asian lady in the elevator to my building, right? And like she gets in at the second floor, she didn't notice me standing there till she got in.
Uh-huh.
And I think that kind of spooked her to begin with, right? And I'm like, oh, like how's it going or something?
Were you
And then-
hiding behind a wall panel?
No,
somewhere?
like the way, because if you stand by the door, by like where the buttons are, and you walk in the door, you kind of. I mean, it's not, you don't have to turn much of a corner, but. Anyways, and so she's standing there, and she seemed pretty nervous, and then like right as the doors are closing, she like bolted, like out the door, like she just made a break for it, and I'm thinking like, I guess I made her nervous or something. So I guess that is sort of similar. I don't know. Maybe she thought I was gonna put her in a wood chipper.
That's like that time that Ed was in the grocery store. Kind of reminds me of that.
What time?
That time that parent like grabbed their kids away for like what's
That's like every time I go to the grocery store.
Or that time that guy thought you were a homeless person and gave you a free donut.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too.
Well, he has
Good
registered on a
times.
couple of
that
lists.
was crazy when that happened 2 days ago. What was crazy? The weird thing is, my sign said like I didn't say anything about food. I just wanted money.
I specifically drew dollar signs, sir.
Yeah. So
Or
like,
3 of them.
now I have to make sure my sign says no donuts, please.
You can flip it around.
So I got a question.
Yes.
Their relationship had an adversarial sort of tinge to it, kind of like the way someone mentioned with Sherlock and Holmes with my pick.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Oh, you mean in terms of the full bromance-ness?
Yeah, like
Okay.
their arc was very similar to Sherlock. Like they had like an acrimonious
Yes.
part in the middle, but we're all made up by the end.
I mean, I don't know.
We talked about this.
Well, yeah, and if
actually.
you look at the Wikipedia definition of like what a buddy film is, usually there is diversity between the two buddies.
Okay.
Like Abbott and Costello or Laurel and Hardy, there'll always be like this little kind of bickering, but then I guess it's sort of like an old married couple. It doesn't mean that there isn't love there.
yeah.
Even though
Well, I don't think there was the issue with Holmes though either. It was more
Right,
that
right.
There was
was
something else, wasn't it?
It was more that the story was pretty much his, and even
Oh
though
yeah, that's right.
even though he had the tied friendship. We
Yeah,
talked about this as well because I thought on some level you could have kind of argued that with this, that on some
Yeah.
level it's actually Dale's film
right.
and that Tucker exists in a supporting role.
And even though Tucker and Dale do have a very romantic relationship, it's not necessarily a full buddy movie.
And so we were actually discussing like that. And
That's
like,
actually what I
Well,
meant to say.
a movie like this, I would consider more of a a teacher-student kind of thing, where Tucker's like the teacher and Dale's like the student.
Or like the older brother kind of thing.
Tucker's the Miyagi, if you will, and
Yeah.
Dale's
Well,
the
'cause here's the
Daniel
thing,
Because
in
he's
Bill and
obviously the
Ted's-
smarter one, and even in the
Dale-san.
beginning, he's just all like, "I wish I was as good with the girls as you are, Tucker."
That's actually, I think that's often the case though in the buddy flicks. I think
Yeah.
it says in the Wikipedia too. Like one of them or both of them will go through a coming of age.
Well,
Type of thing.
not
Yeah.
there isn't a lot of them, but not in all of them. I mean, if you take like a classic buddy movie like Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, they're equals throughout like the whole movie.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them always
that's
thinks
a
they're
good
better
movie.
than another, but obviously they're not.
Jesus, I haven't seen that shit in years. That's a good fucking movie.
It's an amazing fucking movie,
Yeah.
and
That was
the same with
that was
like
gonna be my
the
pick.
Blues Brothers.
No, just kidding.
Yeah, the Blues
The
Brothers.
Blues Brothers.
too.
I mean, obviously they're brothers, in more of a sense than everything else we've seen. But they are equals through the whole movie.
Yeah, we,
And
like, never
that's
see
like
them
the
apart.
very definition of a buddy movie right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Right. So I think what we decided to just kind of like, rather than super split hairs about it, just kind of agree that perhaps these things there's shades.
Well,
Well,
and
yeah, I
these
don't
things
think there
happen
is a
in real
conclusion.
life too. I mean,
Yeah, it's just how it is.
who hasn't had a
Squares.
friend that they learned something from, or maybe was a little bit smarter? I'm looking over at Mattless. And
I've
Yeah,
learned
well,
nothing from all of
I think the existence of the romantic relationships makes the movies valid, even if the movie itself isn't necessarily the focus of both of them. If you know
yeah,
what I'm
well, I
saying.
mean, and at least the movies are seemingly equal parts Tucker and Dale, rather than focusing more on Dale. Even though you can make a very valid argument that it's more his movie than Tucker's.
Yeah.
But it focuses on the both of them rather than more on like one of them.
Right. I think it was a little more. I think it was a little more of a two-person story than Sherlock Holmes was, but maybe only slightly.
But yeah, maybe a little less than the Untouchables. or-
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. The other question I have written down before we wrap things up. So we touched on this a little bit before, but people from the South, like with sort of prevailing attitudes about the provincial nature of folks from the South, certainly people from the South that defy these kind of stereotypes.
What's your question?
Well,
Thank
I
you.
don't know.
Well, no, okay. No, I
Yeah, thank
get
you.
where
John,
you're
please take
going.
over.
I get where
Thank
you're
you.
going. Like, okay, there was a time in American culture where the hillbilly got really big, like the Little Abner comic strip. Like comic strips used to be big time media. It was popular stuff, and Little Abner was big, and they had a radio show. Little had a TV show. They had movies.
Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, a hillbilly culture, and just how.
Well, yeah, like when everybody was drinking PBR, it was like white trash chic.
Well, that's what exactly. It's just like
Beverly
how.
Hillbillies.
I mean, the beatnik as we think of him never existed. That's Hollywood hogwash. Exactly, and it's true about on some about hippies or even about like the grunge culture and stuff, where there's what the media reports to the rest of the world, and it becomes, even though it's not any kind of a racial group, it still becomes a stereotype that is very much invented and not realistic. And even when hillbillies, I mean, first off, this is the year 2015, and even though not everybody gets Wi-Fi, there's probably a lot less banjo plucking, cousin fucking, moonshine brewing, corn squeezing, shit kicking, pickup truck driving, sister
Child bride
marrying,
having.
yeah,
Great movie.
flapjack flipping, lumberjacking,
Hey,
Motorcyclist.
There's
shooting-
the-
John
too.
Doeing, tractor pulling,
John Deeren.
wife beaten.
I still want to know the question.
Even though
Let me
there's-
take back over now, John.
yeah, I'm sorry, I really lost focus there. I don't know where the hell I went.
So,
Can
no,
you use that word in a
Tag team.
sentence, please?
where am I?
The bottom line for this is people like this perception of hillbillies. As none of us are actually from the South. For people from the South, is it like something that like they embrace, even though like it doesn't really like apply to them particularly, or is it something that should generate resentment?
Okay, absolutely. They do. Not all of them, but a good percentage of them do embrace it. I know a lot of people from the South and have known
Oh,
a
they
lot
def-
of people.
they
from the
definitely
They
have
embrace.
pride.
I know Southern culture
yeah.
on the skids did. Even though I found out Rick's from fucking San Diego.
What?
Yes,
and,
Rick
he's
Miller. Rick
he's a-
Miller.
Just a minute, you're a fraud.
Just Southern culture on the skids. He's from San Diego. It turns out.
What a faker!
And it
Right?
doesn't.
I
You
love
meant
that,
Southern
man.
California.
No, we
on
love
the
you guys.
skids.
We love Southern culture on the skids.
It doesn't necessarily mean that they are like super hillbilly, kind of thing. A lot of them, what we would consider hillbilly, and project onto them, they consider a lot of core values in for themselves. Is it like
Jeez.
Shut up.
Is it like the episode Home from the X-Files? No.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Is it like The Hills Have Eyes? No. It's more along the lines.
It's more like the hills have guys.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I guess, for lack of a better term, high class here than Tucker and Dale would be.
Right.
I know there are the people that live in like the shacks and things like that. But that's only because that's what they can afford. But they still know what to do right from wrong, all
Right.
the other cool shit. I'm not gonna fuck my sister or whatever.
Right.
That much.
But yeah, they do embrace it a lot,
That
and
much.
you'll see it. And as John was somewhere in there alluding to,
Before I lost my way.
Yeah, they'll embrace it on TV too. But I've known a lot of people through my life, high school and whatnot, that were just all like, oh yeah, we were super hillbilly.
I'm just saying
and they would talk about the trailer parks that they live in and things like that.
The point I was trying to make is just that the media creates this image of the hillbilly that
Well, what I wanna
is
know
I'm
is-
sure first off is very invalid now, but didn't ever really exist.
Why isn't it like I'm hillbilly and this is hill Millie?
That would be your girlfriend, be hillbilly
Ugh.
or
What?
hill
Let's
tilly.
move on to Star Wars. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what that timer meant. It's time to.
Time
It's
for
time to
Star
get this.
Wars.
I'm Chris. Oh,
I'm Jason.
He is Chris.
And I'm Jason.
Okay, that's going to do it for, this edition of the Las Películas Sábados Gigantes at the Cinemarijuana Theatre. We'll be back with our super Star Wars edition.
I hope
next
you got your
time.
tickets. Till you don't, you're a loser, and
Yeah.
you're not a Star Wars fan.
You blew it.
You
Get out there and
blood.
see it before you listen to next week's podcast, because it might be spoilerific,
And we'll
Now,
do,
or we might go spoiler free.
Question about next week's podcast before you closed out.
yeah.
While we're waiting in line, I know we had talked about maybe interviewing some other people around there,
Yeah.
and whatnot. Are we going to air that on SoundCloud as well? Or
If we if we come up with some material, absolutely.
because
yeah.
I've already
Continue on
been
the street.
writing questions.
Oh, okay,
to go
yeah,
ask
I'm bringing
people
the
and
gear.
whatnot.
Yeah, we've been talking about shit. I'm bringing
And
the
we
gear.
could do
so
an intro and stuff. And we could basically be like a show. If we wanted.
I mean,
if we get if we get usable material, absolutely.
okay,
So
yeah,
may,
there might
maybe
be a
stay tuned
special.
for
There
that.
might be a special remote.
because
from-
I
But everybody there might be duds too. But we might do a special like on the scene.
who knows?
podcast
I've
or
been
something.
writing down a bunch of questions to try and ask people.
Could be
yeah,
cool.
so I can 'cause
Like we
Connie
said, if
on
we
the
have 10
street.
to ask,
I can
think
just
we'll
Condi on the street.
Hell yeah!
I can just prison pocket this
Nigga.
Zoom recorder and
right.
plug the. So we'll be back with more amazingness next week. Thanks for listening.
I'm Chris.
He's Chris.
He's Chris.
I'm Chris.
That's Chris.
And yes, we're all Chris here.
Except I'm
Thank
Kenzie.
you. Except for Condi, who's Kenzie.
And he's Chris.
Goodbye.